WDSU TV6 in New Orleans.
NewsCenter 6 tonight with Alec Gifford, Nancy Holland, Buddy DiLiberto, and Dan Milham.
Good afternoon. Tonight's top news, tonight's only news, the crash of a Pan Am 727. That crash on takeoff from New Orleans Airport this afternoon.
NewsCenter 6 tonight with Alec Gifford, Nancy Holland, Buddy DiLiberto, and Dan Milham.
Good evening, everyone. Nancy is off tonight.
NewsCenter 6 with Lynn Ganser, Charles Ziwi, Buddy DiLiberto, and Dan Milham.
Good evening. Lynn Ganser's on assignment.
Good morning. Good morning. This
You make New Orleans play.
Alec Gifford, Ann Mulligan, and Margaret Orr with weather. This is NewsCenter 6 midday.
Good afternoon, and as
New Orleans play.
Bob Krieger, Ann Mulligan, Vince Marinello with sports, and Dan Milham, the weatherman. This is NewsCenter 6 at 5.
Hands off.
Make New Orleans play.
Lynn Ganser, Charles Ziwi, Buddy D with sports, and Dan Milham, the weatherman. This is NewsCenter 6 at 6.
Good evening.
You make New Orleans play.
Charles Ziwi, Lynn Ganser, Buddy D with sports, and Dan Milham, the weatherman. This is NewsCenter 6 tonight.
Good evening.
New Orleans play.
Richard Anderson, Joan Malter, Ed Daniels with sports, and Steve Bellis with weather. This is NewsCenter 6, the weekend edition.
Good evening.
6. It's 5 o'clock, New Orleans.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to 5 o'clock New Orleans. I'm Terry Wood. It
is New Orleans. And now, 6 Evening News with Lynn Ganser, Terry Wood, Buddy D with sports, and meteorologist Dan Milham.
Good evening, everyone.
WDSU 6 New Orleans. Now, 6 News Weekend with Gary Mattingly, Ed Daniels with sports, and Steve Bellis with weather.
The freeze of '89 has turned into a fire problem in New Orleans. Firemen have been battling blazes all over the city since noon yesterday. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll tell you more about the fire problem in a minute, but first, the weather and a look at the road conditions. Well, as we forecast, we still have freezing temperatures in the city, and the mercury is supposed to drop into the single digits tonight. Margaret Orr joins us now with the latest on the cold weather. Meg?
From your 24-hour news source, this is 6 News, the 7:55 report.
good morning.
From WDSU TV, New Orleans, Channel 6 News Today continues with Julie Miller and Steve Bellis.
It's been missing for 7 years now, and a piece of Canal Street history is back.
You're watching Channel 6, WDSU TV, New Orleans. And this is Channel 6 News at 5.
The daring balloonists have to abandon their adventurous dream once again.
You're watching Channel 6 News at 5 with Michael Marsh and Melanie Sanders. AMS meteorologist Dan Milham with weather, Ro Brown with sports, and Stephanie Boswell with 6 on your side. You're watching Channel 6 News at 5 with Norman Robinson, AMS meteorologist Dan Milham, Ro Brown with sports, and Stephanie Boswell with 6 on your side. You're watching Channel 6, WDSU TV, New Orleans. And this is Channel 6 News at 6.
2 days after an explosion of violence at a school in Colorado, a student is shot at a Baton Rouge area school.
Because you know what?
You're watching Channel 6 News at 6 with Norman Robinson and Susan Rosden, Chief Meteorologist Dan Milham, and Rich Lenz with sports. You're watching Channel 6, WDSU TV, New Orleans. And this is Channel 6 News tonight.
There were approximately 20 individuals that were staying in a group camp. They experienced signs and symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning.
It's becoming an all too common problem. Carbon monoxide fumes leaking from heaters and sending people to the hospital. This time, 19 teenage girls taken to the hospital on the North Shore.
You're watching Channel 6 News tonight with Norman Robinson and Susan Rosden, AMS meteorologist Dan Milham with weather, and Rich Lenz with sports. You're watching WDSU TV, Channel 6, New Orleans. We're building WDSU around you. This is News Channel 6 at 10.
Just a few more hours left in this carnival season. From the East Bank to the West Bank, we have all the highlights and the lows.
I ain't been down here in 22 years. I ain't coming back. This was supposed to be the safe area, but it ain't safe.
Celebrations marched on despite an ugly disturbance uptown. Reaction from witnesses and family after a shooting on the parade route. Plus, the governor of Louisiana spends his Fat Tuesday responding to the president on behalf of Republicans. We'll have a wrap-up of both speeches. The news starts now.
WDSU News Channel 6 is on your side.
All I know is my grandson was at the parade, sitting in the stroller, and he got shot in the back.
Outrage over an annual celebration ending in violence. Good evening, I'm Norman Robinson.
And I'm Chris Fairbairn. 2 people are behind bars in connection with the shooting.
This is what's happening now on WDSU News at 4.
The road to repeat starts this Saturday right here on WDSU. The Saints are on.
This is WDSU News at 5.
Say at Rummel High School, what I know about this is the first time we've had anything.
This is WDSU News at 6.
Tonight, a scathing report on the Recovery School District.
According to a state audit, millions of dollars in equipment.
Right now on WDSU News at 5, a federal judge approves the federal consent decree with the NOPD, what it means to the city and also the city's budget.
Also, Governor Bobby Jindal is proposing getting rid of the state income tax, why he's taking the bold step, and what other taxes could go up.
And parts of the North Shore finally drying out after Thursday's rain. What one parish is trying to do to improve drainage to handle all the rains. WDSU News at 5 starts right now.
This is WDSU News at 5.
Southeast Louisiana continues to dry out after the day-long rain we had on Thursday.
Now as all that rain runs off, there is still concern about river levels this afternoon. A bombshell from the U.S. Attorney's Office about a rogue prosecutor. Learn what the black eye now means for Jim Letton's office and his future. Also, New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu meets with President Obama. We'll tell you what the two discussed today. Plus, a shooting tonight leaves a man dead. Details on the Crescent City's latest murder. The news at 10 starts now.
This is WDSU News at 10.
For me to start expressing personal opinions about my depth of disappointment is a dangerous place to go.
U.S. Attorney Jim Letton holds back his frustration after learning one of his own, Assistant U.S. Attorney Sal Perricone, has been violating the trust of Letton's office. Perricone sits at one of the highest levels of the U.S. criminal justice system and is accused of posting negative comments online about ongoing investigations.
You're in WDSU.
Right now, police on the North Shore are searching for a gunman after a shooting on the Tammany Trace.
More I-10 closures tonight, and it could affect your commute. I'm Blake Hansen live with when and where coming up.
Plus, nearly 24 Boy Scouts are hospitalized after a campout. What sent the scouts to the emergency room? WDSU News This Morning continues right now.
On your side in Southeast Louisiana, this is WDSU News This Morning.
If you're outdoors, be cautious in the heat. Again, we are in the midst of summer as you wake up at 6:31, taking a live look outside through our Lee Circle camera. Already warm, temperatures in the 80s. Jay joins us now with a check of our exact cast and just how high those temperatures are expected to rise.
On your side in Southeast Louisiana, this is WDSU News at 4.
And first at 4, numerous reports of hail falling across the area. This is City Park. About an hour ago, you can see the hail pounding the pavement there. Rain and severe storms have been moving across southeast Louisiana.
On your side in Southeast Louisiana, this is WDSU News at 4 with Scott Walker, Camille Whitworth, and Chief Meteorologist Margaret Orr.
The Saints' first scrimmage is not until Saturday, and their first preseason game is not until Friday, but it felt like a game day practice.
You're watching WDSU.
Right now at 10, 2 deadly explosions in 2 days. Who's calling for a crackdown on chemical plants and what neighbors say about their safety? Plus, celebrating a respected spiritual leader, how the community paid its final respects to Father Michael Jacques.
And I'm Fletcher Mackel here at the College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. Coming up, we'll tell you how the LSU players are preparing for their huge showdown Sunday against the UCLA Bruins. Plus, find out how the Tigers players gave back to the Omaha community today.
On your side in Southeast Louisiana, this is WDSU News at 10.
Tonight, a Louisiana watchdog group is calling for serious enforcement at the state's chemical plants after 2 deadly explosions in just 2 days.
You're watching Channel 6, WDSU TV, New Orleans.